Hi guys, welcome back. Well, the silly season is well and truly upon us. This is going to be a pickups. In fact, it's my last pickups of 2019, but I'll go into a bit more detail with that in just a mo.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Well guys, this is actually going to be my last video of 2019, but I will be doing Let's Plays in between now and the new year. I'll probably start up all afresh, probably round about the 6th of January. And looking round at what I've got to show you guys, I've got an absolute stack of stuff. So I'm probably going to rattle through some of this fairly quickly. I'm going to start actually with the old 8-bit systems, with the Commodore 64 and the Spectrum. And for the Commodore 64, I've picked up Cybernoid 2. And this is complete in there, cassette instructions. It's actually in really good condition, to be fair. I've got the first one, I'm pretty sure I've got the first one, so I paid £1 for that. I was really happy. But I tell you what, Mr. Bad's Games, and most certainly Retro Games Played Badly, you're going to get the blame for this one. I've picked up my very first Hit Squad game, Predator. Now I've started, I'm going to have to finish. So yeah, number 7. Again, really good condition. I'm really happy with it, to be fair. I paid £1 for that as well, so I've got that now. Moving on over to the Spectrum, and I picked up 2 games. I saw them, had to have them immediately, especially one of them, because I remember as a child having an actual poster of this game in my room. And that is the fantastic Underworld. This is a brilliant game, absolutely brilliant. It really is. You know, just to show there, again, cassette in the box with the instructions. You know, really happy to add that to my collection. But I said a pair. The other is the fantastic Night Lord. And again, just to show, in the box, complete, absolutely fantastic. Really happy. They are dinted, but you can repair that, and I know I keep saying I'm going to show you guys how it's done, but really happy to add these two to my collection. Moving on over to Nintendo and the NES, I've picked up Star Wars. Again, this is complete in the box. The box, yes, it's battered, I know that, but I'm not spending a fortune on buying absolute pristine games, but I really am happy to have this. And like I said before, these can be repaired, this can be tarted up to make it look a hell of a lot better. Pilot the Millennium Falcon in 3D space fight combat, so I'm really looking forward to playing that one. And then moving on over, just quickly checking, yeah, this is supposed to be the last. What was this? It was actually a 16, was it 16? No, it was an 8-bit, sorry, another 8-bit. And that's for the Amstrad GX 4000. I picked up Klax. Now, from what I can gather, and from what I've quickly read at the back, this seems to be reading like a Tetris type game. But again, complete the box, could do with a bit of a clean. Huge box for a very small cartridge. Absolutely crazy, the size of the cartridges. But saying that, I think I've yet to find a box that is absolutely damaged, because these things were really built to last. They're really tough, really sturdy. I think they're brilliant boxes, but they're just huge. Absolute pain to store. And I think that is... yes, that's the 8-bit out of the way. Let's move on. People do ask me, where do I get all these bargains from? And I keep telling them the same thing. You've got to go out, you've got to look. Don't just pile into the likes of CEX. Go into Goodwill stores, go into, pawn shops. You know the type of pawn shop I mean. Friends and family, contacts, word of mouth, car boot, everything and anything. eBay, Facebook. They're all on there, but you've got to go looking for them. Right, I'm going to move on to just a few peripherals. Let's get those things out of the way. I picked up off Amazon a new gaming headset, the SA810. I'm really happy with this. It's more than comfy. You guys are telling me I'm crystal clear when I'm doing a live vid. Really happy to get that. Was it £10? It was on offer, £10. So really happy to grab that. Sorry, leaning all over the place. I've picked up, and I'm going to start calling it the Xbox OG, the original. I've got myself a HDMI lead for it. Now obviously it will need its own power, and I suppose when the new console is out, the Xbox Series X, is that right? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Crazy name. It'll do away with the majority of all the old consoles, because if you can play it on one machine, I'd rather play it all on one machine, to be fair. But I'm really happy to get this, to finally, I might be able to start bringing you guys a lot more Xbox, let's plays, whatever, reviews, first 10 minutes. You tell me, if I've got the game, I'll do it for you, but let me know. I've also picked up a bit of a handheld. Who remembers the Barcode Battlers? Who remembers them, eh? When these hit the scene, I didn't pay that much attention to them, but then I remember reading in a paper how parents were going mental because they'd find boxes, the grocery shopping with all barcodes missing, and peas and that falling out of bags, and they're pulling them out of the freezer because they've got a big hole to take the barcode out. It's a brilliant idea. It was absolute boom time when this thing hit the scene. This is in full working order. I'm not going to get it out of the box because it's in polystyrene. It just takes forever. It's as if the polystyrene sort of clings to the actual cardboard. The box itself is in really good condition. It does come with its own wizard cards as well. But for £10, I didn't think I could go wrong. So I picked that up. Never owned it as a kid. Happy to give that a play. Mini systems. You know I collect these now. In fact, trying to name them. I've got the Commodore 64, I've got the SNES, I've got the NES. I know there's another one, PlayStation. I think I've got another one upstairs, but I'm more than happy to add to it now. The Mega Drive. Or Genesis, depending on which part of the world you're in. And it's beautiful, Just like all the others, in all fairness, it mimics the original machine something wrong. I don't need to go on all day telling you guys what this is all about. You've seen enough videos by now about it, but I'm really happy to add this. I'll probably soft mod it, and it'll eventually live maybe under my TV in the living room. Life will find out eventually, I suppose. But hey ho. Right, moving on, and I think we're ready to maybe move on to 32-bit machines. And I'm going to start with, and if you are following my channel, you'll know by now, I picked myself up a Philips CDI, and I started collecting for that again. So for that, I've got Escape from Cyber City, Striker Pro, come back to that one in a minute. Now, is this Keitha? I never owned these back in the day, so I don't know what they're like. And one called Escape, but it's not a game, it's actually CDI music. then taking a look at Escape is a unique entertainment experience which delivers club music and visuals directly into your own home. Well, looking at the visuals, it looks like acid. But what we got in there, Psycho, Will You Make the Future, Mind Over Rhythm, House of Trance, Hey Up, Irresistible Force, Underground, Eon, Spice Remix, Cold Cut, Galactic Pot Healer. Oh my word, I need to stick that on at some point, don't I? Anything else for the CDI? No, let's move on. I was going to do the PlayStation 1 next, but I've decided to stop myself and do the one game I picked up for the Dreamcast. And it's a homebrew. Because Splatterhouse, it never ever originally came out on the Dreamcast. Now this is a fantastic game on the Dreamcast. It's all 3 games, but they've been remastered, and you know, the box art is incredible. Sorry, I think I showed you the back there. Box art is brilliant. It's got their Beats of Rage. It's the Dead format films, and as they put, this is not an official Sega or Namco product. They're absolutely right, it's not. But the quality of the box is brilliant. You know, there's no cracks, there's no splits in the box. The box art, like I say, is fantastic. It's what you get inside, which is incredible. I'll show you the disc first of all. I mean, look at that. That is just brilliant. Just open the other side, because what you then get is you've got the original arcade soundtrack as well. So again, original arcade soundtrack. And then just to get this out, you get like, it's a little bit of a comic, but it's also the instructions and a poster. You know, Splatterhouse there, just a little bit of comic there, poster there, instructions there, how to play it. That is brilliant, it's fantastic. But wait, it keeps going. I've got a fridge magnet. I've got a fridge magnet. And this is fantastic. You know, homebrew games for a lot of these older systems are just getting better and better all the time. And you know, these people put a lot in there. And for the games themselves, it's the entire game series that you get. But it plays so much better. You can play with whichever character you want. So if you prefer Splatterhouse 3, you prefer the character in that, but you want to play the original Splatterhouse, you can do. And it's just a fantastic pickup. I actually paid £20 for this. And you know what? I think it's worth every single penny. I really do. I'm more than happy to add that to the collection. Moving on over to the PlayStation 1. And the first game you already know about because I posted my lap times, and that's Porsche Challenge, which I'm really happy about that. I gave it a thumbs up. It's a brilliant racing game. More than happy with that. Another one, I suppose it's a little bit controversial, but it's Bugsby 3D. I've got that. And, you know, instructions, yeah, I suppose almost 1/4 of an inch thick. And the game in the original black. The case itself is fantastic condition. Cases can actually do good money, really can. So if you ever come across any, even if you've got them, they're £1 or less, you should be grabbing them, you really should. Necronomicon. I saw this and I thought, Necronomicon sort of reminds me of the Evil Dead a bit. But this is, I've read this side, The Dawning of Darkness. Never played this before in my life, so I haven't got a clue what it's like. I'd be interested in your guys' views if you've got it. It looks to be a 2-disc epic. And of course, the instructions as well. I paid for that. That was a charity shop, but I think the buggers had it marked as £2. But was it worth it? This next one, I actually picked this up. It wasn't CEX, it was, oh God, I can't remember what they're called now. It's a similar sort of shop next door, but it is Nightmare Creatures. Now, looking at a bit of this on YouTube, this looks to be an absolute brilliant game. I know the second game actually does very good money, in all fairness. Disc, yeah, a few blemishes, but original black. And of course, complete with the instructions, because it's one of my pet hates now, buying games without the manuals, certainly Zelda games, because to pick up the manuals on their own, it's just nothing but an absolute pain in the arse, and I hate doing it. Right, I'm going to move on to the Xbox and the PlayStation 2. I'll do Xbox next. I decided to pick it up because it was there if you had, to be fair. Celebrity Deathmatch. Already had it on the original PlayStation, I've now got it on this. Expect to start seeing some Saturday night fighting. It's a brilliant, quirky game, but certainly the graphics are better on the original Xbox and PlayStation 2. I also, sorry, I'm beard. I also picked up Bloodwake, the original. Again, in the box with the instructions. Really happy to add that. Speed headlong into a fast and furious world of savage high seas warfare. And in all fairness, the graphics on the back don't look too bad, so really happy to add that to my collection. Now, moving on over to the PlayStation 2, did it get the most love? Oh, it's equal. Equal. I know, I'm not going to say it. Sod it, why not? You will never ever get another console like this. It is my favourite console. You will never come across any other console ever which had such a varied game library. It's never going to happen. So, kicking it off, I've got Worms Forts Under Siege. Again, I mentioned it just before, Celebrity Deathmatch. And these are all in great condition, by the way. All of them, fantastic condition. You know, again, just to show the back there. Premier Manager. I think you're into this, Mr. Retro Bear. There you go, Premier Manager. Happy to add that. Gauntlet, Seven Sorrows. Oh, God. Never played that one before. Unite as heroes, fight as warriors, live as legends. Again, this looks to be cracking condition. Again, just complete in the box. Never played this before, so happy to add that. Now this one I got because I have got it on the Amiga and I still haven't had a chance to fire this up yet, so someone put me out of my misery, please. Tell me if it is the same game. The Red Baron. And this is pristine. The instruction booklet hardly looks used. I mean, look at it. It's fantastic condition. So, happy to add that. Monster House. Again, complete. Sure this was a film. I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've got to remove it, do a little bit of tidy up, but apart from that, great condition. MX Superfly. Obviously it's a bike racing game, but never played it. Happy to add that. What the hell's this? Just breakdancing. Breaks, beats and battles. Oh my word, B-boy. Grab your skateboard, come on. Again, complete in the box just to quickly prove it. Now, this next one, I've never played this before, but it looks really quirky because it is Soccer Life, money, celebrity and fun. So I suppose you're playing the life of the footballer. You know, become a professional footballer player, take control of your professional and private life. So that could be quite interesting. Again, brilliant. And the last one I've got, and I love collecting these, and this is one, it's Intellivision Lives, the history of the video games, over 60 Intellivision games on here. You know, the Intellivision, bless it, I don't know if anyone's ever come out with almost like a remake of the console itself, so you can plug your cartridges in. If they have, please somebody tell me. But I think this is a great way to play old retro games if you still enjoy them. And that's the PlayStation out of the way. Now, that's a stack. That's an absolute stack. That cost me £5, and I'm more than happy about that. Bargains like this, you know, charity shops. I think I picked up at one point, it was 3 for £1. It was just brilliant. Really happy. Right, we're going to have to go a little bit backwards. Like I said, I've got that much to show you guys. I'm not surprised I've not got this in order. And you know by now I like to try and go through the years with systems. You know I'm trying to go, and I really do want to get every single Sega Saturn game out there. So I'm going to pick up another 3. Let's hope I can bloody pronounce this. Pandemonium, that's it. So I've got that. Pandemonium. The case, it's a little bit damaged here and there, but nothing I can't live with. And of course, let's see if I can get into it first go. Yeah, there you go. In the box. Manual complete. So happy to have that. Another one that I picked up recently is the fantastic Road Rage. Now, I've never played this version, and looking at the back, it does look pretty close to what I personally consider to be the definitive road. I said Road Rage, didn't I? My apologies, Road Rash. Anyway, the definitive version. It's not the PlayStation 1. You're wrong. It's the Panasonic 3DO. It is the best version, but this looks pretty close. So I'd be interested to put this on and have a look-see at it. But as far as I'm concerned, at this moment in time, you will not play a better Road Rash game than on the Panasonic 3DO. You have a text message. Oh, sorry about that. What the hell was going on? Yes, so more than happy. In fact, let's just grab that because I am expecting. Oh no, it's just. Andy, that was you bugger. Next game. One, when I took a look at it, it looks sort of very similar to Resident Evil. And again, this looks to be like a mammoth. Yeah, 2 discs. The case, off blemish. Can't complain one little bit, but I've now got Deep Fear. This is getting to be quite a pricey game as well, to be quite honest with you. So again, complete in the box. In fact, I didn't show that one off, did I? Because I actually prefer these bigger, thicker cases. Yeah, I know the storage is a problem, but what can you do? So again, complete. I do prefer those cases because these smaller ones, just to give you the size comparison, I've snapped the plastic on this before now because you've got a little notch, a little cut out there, and if you use that to open it, you put too much stress on the plastic and it will just snap. So when you open these, always try, I suppose, grab it with your thumb rather than digging in and open it. Sorry if I'm trying to teach a few of you out there to suck eggs, but there's nothing like breaking your cases and then you've got to go out and get another one. So yeah. Deep Fear, really happy to own that as well. And that is definitely the last, I suppose, of the real older generation. Let's move on. Right, moving on to a console that I suppose I've got my arse in gear again, started collecting a bit more for. This first game, I am going to have to replace the case. In fact, it looks like a jog. What the hell's a jog? It looks like a dog has chewed the hell out of it. But that is Big Mother Truckers. Again, it is complete in the box. I've also picked up V-Rally 3. I've got this now on multiple systems, but Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. Monster Jam. Who doesn't like a bit of Bond? Nightfire. I didn't realise this was part of it. I've not really looked at it. Oh man. Ah well, you've got to, haven't you? Finding Nemo. Now, some of them, oh yeah, I know. The cases are a little bit questionable. They do need heavily cleaning. I've not had a chance to do that yet. And they will certainly be cleaned very, very well. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games for £2. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Let's put them there out of the way. And we're going to move on now to the Wii. Because I have got quite a few, and it was the Wii that it won joint love this time. And I've got some great games for this, and these are so cheap. A few of these were 25 pence. 25p. You know, Retro Bear, it's his sort of territory, that is. Anyway, I'm going to start with the fantastic Dead Rising. Again, just to prove it, complete in the box. I won't have it any other way these days because they're too much of a pain in the arse just to get the manuals. But that's Dead Rising, and I played this on the Xbox. It's a brilliant game. Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles. I've never played this one before, and the case on this one, it looks really fresh. I mean, the manual, just you've got all the cards, booklets, just fantastic. Let's have a look at the disc. Slightest of blemishes, but that looks to be a fantastic game. It really does. I think I've already got this, possibly on the PlayStation 2. It was a film that bombed, but I actually quite liked it. The Last Airbender. Don't know anything about this. Looks to be a bit of a 3D platforming game, but the Secret Saturdays. Is that Beasts? Yeah, Beasts of the Fifth Son. So happy to have that. Fantastic film. My wife and certainly my daughters have watched this to death, and it is a brilliant film. Who doesn't like Wally? Here we go. We're going to get into a bit of the meat and drink of this one now, because these next three, I picked them up so cheap. One of them I've already got, so I'll check it with my own, keep the best for myself and move it on. But House of the Dead Overkill, if you've not played this, you are seriously missing out. You've got to get this played. House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return. And Manhunt 2. Brilliant games, brilliant games. I think I did pay £4 for those. Robbie Williams, We Sing. Doubtful I ever will. And this last one, again, looks to be a, you know, and I have to question. It does look quirky. It is complete. But I could never get into it, so I know why I've bought it, because it was part of the package and it just adds it to the collection. But Skate It? I doubt I'm ever going to play it, not unless you guys are going to tell me it's any good, so let me know, please. And that's the Wii out of the way. So I've added to the collection there, one of them I already had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, another 9 games. Another 9 games. And like I said, a few of them are 25 pence. I can't go wrong, I really can't. Right, moving on to, I suppose, the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation, sorry. Sorry. PlayStation 3. I don't even know if I did lean out of the camera shot then, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, I picked up the fantastic Dead Rising for the Xbox 360. That was 10 pence, charity shop find. And what they had, and I didn't mind paying £1 for this, it was the same charity shop. I've already got the game. I've got the game time and time again. But I haven't got the Steelbook edition. And I'm just staring down at it now. Nope, that's wiped off. Oh, one, and I'm talking the most slightest. Just above my finger there now. You guys, I'll never make that out. For £1, complete. Thought, why not? Just add it to the collection. Moving to the PlayStation 3. I really did like the game Pirates. I thought it was a fantastic game. So I picked up Port Royal 3 Gold Edition. I've also picked up the Alpha Protocol Espionage RPG, and it does look good at the back. In the first modern day espionage RPG, the path you choose is in your hands. Ooh. Will you seduce and subvert or kill? Your weapon is choice. Kenny Lynch 2. Ooh, that's it. That's all I picked up the PlayStation 3. 3 games. £1 each. Can't go wrong. I know. Before I get on to the very last games, PlayStation 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 to show you, but there's only actually 8 games. But before I do, who builds models still? Anyone? Who remembers building Airfix models as a kit? Who remembers Space 1999? Guess what I'm building this Christmas? Yep, I'm going to build myself an eagle. I've wanted one of these for so many years. I truly have. I really have. But you know what? They do crazy money. I picked this up relatively cheap, but I've got to build it. I'm a little bit apprehensive, if I'm honest, because even though it says from 10 upwards, the amount of pieces in this box, and to do it the way I want to do it, because I want to get it spray painted and all sorts, and I want it looking proper. Ooh, might bit off a little bit more than I can chew, but we'll see. So something a little different for you guys to look at there. Right, oh, actually I've got a game in there mixed in. So it's not 8 games, it's 7 games in total. I'm going to start off with, it's the latest Civilization game. Oh my word, this is a lot more complicated than the last one I played on the PlayStation 3, but a hell of a lot of fun. But it's just taken a while to get into this one because it is so complicated, but a fantastic game. Now I bought this, I said I'd play it with the Runny Egg. I've not even broke the seal on it, mate. I really haven't. Mudrunner. Not a chance. Now these next two, they were spotted on a friend of mine's channel, Jimmy Retro, James. And the second he showed them, I dropped all, went out and purchased them. I had no idea. And that is the Atari Flashback Classics Volume 1, Volume 2. There's 100 games here in total. So expect to start seeing some more classic retro games, you guys. Because I've got them now, and it's a lot easier. I could stream these bad boys, I really could. So I'm really happy to own these. And, you know, just looking at the back there, Asteroids, Haunted House, Adventure, Major Havoc, Combat, just remember Combat, the tank one, Centipede, Sword Quest, Star Raiders. I can't wait to get into these, but they're still sealed. I've not had a chance yet, so Christmas holidays is the perfect time. Next one was a Steelbook. It's supposed to be quite rare, this, and I must admit, I paid £10 for this. Me and the wife thoroughly enjoyed the game. There's a few people out there, it's a bit of a Marmite game. You either love it or hate it. We absolutely loved it. We thought it was fantastic. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it's Far Cry Primal. And I really do like this case. I really do. I think it's brilliant. So I purchased that to add to my collection. And these next... Oh, hang on. He's got one missing. He has got one missing. It's down there on the floor. Bear with me. Sorry. See, I do play the games. You actually, if you follow my channel... Oh gosh, breaking my ankle. If you follow my channel, you've already watched me play it. The latest Modern Warfare. I think this is potentially the best Modern Warfare now to date. It is a very, very good game. I'm enjoying it, but it can get monotonous if you really start doing nothing but hammering this all the time. Come on, there's more to life surely, but it's a fantastic game. I'm really enjoying it. Now, this next one, this is most definitely a Marmite game. Graphically, I would question whether or not this is for sheer breathtaking graphics, because the scenery when you're walking across the countryside is absolutely outstanding and superb, and I think it's better than Red Dead. For that, just purely for that, it is certainly better than Red Dead. And it is obviously Kojima Products' very first game, and that is Death Stranding. Well, I've treated myself a little bit there, and I got, again, the Steelbook version. So I thought, why not? But you know what? At the same time, I actually think this is an overhyped game. I really do. It is beautiful. It's put together quite clever, but at the same time, now let's be honest for a minute. If you're playing this in the US, you're nothing more than the US Postal Service. If you're playing it in the UK, you are the Royal Mail. You're just picking up parcels, moving, crossing rivers, scenery, and making a delivery. Picking up parcels, making a delivery. That's all it seems to be. I know there's a story in the background, but the main game, it's a little boring. I'm going to have to play this though a lot more to really get into it, but I am and I ain't happy about it. Let's just say I'm neutral on this one at the moment. And the very last game I've got to show you guys, I think is a bit of a surprise. I saw no adverts, no real adverts of this. There's a ton of people playing it, and it does look fantastic, and it is fantastic. But if you haven't got it, please give this a go. The Outer Worlds, I think, is an absolute gem of a game. If you enjoy Fallout and Bioshock, those are probably the two closest games I'd mix it with, because it's got that sort of 1950s sort of vibe at it at times, as it has in Bioshock. But certainly the gameplay is very, very similar to Fallout. But the game's not as heavy as those two. And it's a fantastic game. It's got a brilliant storyline. I really am enjoying it. But again, I need to play a lot more of this because I'm not giving it justice it requires. But I really am into this one. And I've watched quite a few people play it, and they're loving it. They're raving about it. And you really should go out and give this one a go. If you like those type of games, if it's not for you, then please don't. Am I there? I think so. That's it. I don't know how long that took, but it felt like forever, if I'm honest. Sorry. All that's left to say is, everyone out there, thank you for watching me and thank you for supporting me in 2019. It is most appreciated. I really do. You know, I can't thank you people enough. I really can't, because it's you guys that make it all worth. And with that being said, have a very Merry Christmas. Have a fantastic New Year. And like I say, I'll see you guys doing proper videos from probably 6th of July onwards, but in between now and then, expect to find me doing a load of live plays. Right, that's it. Go on you lot, bog off, get yourself a pint, get yourself a mince pie, and let's crack it on.
Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy